The U.S. Secretary of State says India has committed to buying $500 billion in American goods over the next 5 years, a move that New Delhi did not confirm. Both sides have been looking to finalize an interim trade deal for months. Neha Poonia has more on Mr. Rubio's visit to India in this report for CNA.
In the last year, bilateral trade tensions, growing anxiety in India over Washington's proximity to Islamabad and Beijing have strained bilateral ties. Secretary of State Marco Rubio was quick to address these concerns after his meeting with Indian Foreign Minister Dr. S Jaishankar. He says India-US ties have not lost momentum and that New Delhi remains a key strategic partner for the US. He also said that America's engagement with other countries doesn't change how Washington views New Delhi. And he was also heard defending America's decision to restrict who can obtain green cards, a move that could impact thousands of Indians who live and work there. He said it wasn't done with an eye on India, but India says it expects legal mobility will not be impacted and that this is relevant to bilateral business and trade cooperation. A big focus for America's top diplomat was trade with one of the world's fastest growing economies. Secretary Rubio says he's confident a trade deal will be signed soon and that India and the US are strategically aligned on several issues, including energy matters. Marco Rubio has previously said that the US wants India to buy more oil from it and also from Venezuela to wean New Delhi off Russian crude oil imports. India reportedly has agreed in the past to stop buying Russian crude as part of an interim trade pact with the US. But the war in Iran has meant it's turned to Moscow once again to fill a gap that arose due to the closure of the Strait of Hormuz. Roughly 60% of India's crude oil imports come from West Asia. And Secretary Rubio also used his India visit to criticize Iran's blockade of the strait.
That is illegal under any concept of international law that governs us, but it's also if we allowed that to become normal, we would be normalizing an unacceptable status quo and setting a dangerous precedent that could be replicated here in this region and in multiple places around the world.
Now, India's foreign minister says there has been a significant uptick in India's energy imports from the US in the last year and that it wants to source from multiple suppliers to de-risk oil imports as the world's third largest crude oil buyer.
Yesterday, during the Secretary's call on the Prime Minister, some global and regional issues were discussed, and in our subsequent meeting at the embassy, we took up developments pertaining to West Asia, Middle East, to the Indian subcontinent and to East Asia.
Secretary Rubio also met with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi on this visit and has extended an invite for Mr. Modi to come to the US, though New Delhi has not yet accepted. Sources say it's technically President Trump's turn to come to India and that he would travel to New Delhi if India were to host the next Quad Leaders Summit, which it's planning to do before the end of the year. Later in the week, Secretary Rubio and foreign ministers from Quad nations, that's India, Japan and Australia, will also hold talks here, the bloc's first meeting in nearly a year. For CNA, I'm Neha Poonia in New Delhi.